Welcome into 23 ABC Sports. I'm Carrie Osep. We were treated to our second local game since the shutdown as the CSUB women's basketball team hosted their home opener against Santa Clara tonight, looking for another win on the blue court, but unfortunately inconsistencies would catch up to the ladies as they would fall 59-49. The runners brought the excitement to the blue court for the first home game of the season, but they were without their leading scorer as point guard Lexis Green was sidelined following a concussion in the last game at Pepperdine. That just meant relying on other shooters. Tonight's hot shot was senior center Vanessa Austin, who was dominant in the paint. Number 54 leading the effort early as CSUB held a slim lead into the second quarter. Andy Easley taking over point duties and finds the bucket here. Runners struggled to slow down Lexi Pritchard, who finished with a team-high 15 points as the Broncos took a lead following a strong second quarter. The runners nearly climbed back into this one in the third, Jasmine Dixon knocking down CSUB's lone triple of the game. Back to Austin, who was asked for a big game, and she delivered, tying her career high with a game-high 22 points. But it wasn't enough to reclaim the lead as CSUB would be overcome by 20 turnovers, taking the 59-49 loss. But the team will continue battling, handling all the adversity this season has already dished out.
Some teams are just going to try to speed us up, and we got to be ready for that and be able to fight through the fatigue and push through and be smart. To be honest, it's just tough because, we didn't have a summer, and then it was up and down when we were in the summer. But I think as far as where we're headed right now, I think we're down a good road, and we're going to keep fighting and keep pushing.
And we fought hard. I'm very proud of my players because they fought extremely hard. We fought all the way to the end. And so we just wanted to make sure that we continue to do that. And if we continue to do that and get smarter on the offensive end, we're going to win a lot of games.
So while we get to watch the CSUB basketball programs have a chance of playing out their season, there was news released on Thursday from the Big West Conference that they have canceled all fall sports, meaning that CSUB's men's and women's soccer, cross country, and women's volleyball will not have a chance to play this school year. I was able to catch up with CSUB's athletic director Ziggy ahead of this game. Here's what he had to say.
Our Big West Board of Directors are data-driven decision makers. We have the COVID data. It's not good. Now it's looking at an actual competition, and that played into it. We know we can do this with a lot of protocols and a lot of testing, but what the board wasn't comfortable with was adding too many teams, all of them at once, trying to do the same thing. We just knew it wasn't going to be successful.
He referred to it as a heartbreaking decision for those teams, especially with them being sidelined as basketball has a shot at a season. But with the Big West using basketball as a pilot season for other sports, there's still relief to see action back on campus.
It's so rewarding because you see how much has gone into the setup. What some people don't see is I have my head baseball coach sweeping the floors. We have our assistant baseball coach sweeping the floors. Our head track and field coach is out checking in everyone. So everyone's teamed up together.
Ziggy also mentioned a highlight to all of this is that those athletes who missed out on their fall sports season and also those athletes that are getting a chance to compete this year will still have a year of eligibility left based on a ruling from the NCAA. So that means we still have a chance to see some familiar runners' faces next year. At the Arcardo Center for 23 ABC Sports, I'm Carrie Osep.